Americans are used to the economy bouncing back after a recession. In the mid-70s, GDP bounced back to 6.2%. In the 80s, it bounced back to 8.5%. In the 90s, 4.3%. But in recent years, it peaked at 2.8%. Fed CEO James Bullard told the Wisconsin Bankers Association on Thursday this slow recovery is not surprising.
Potential growth rate for the U.S. economy is somewhat lower than it has been in the recent past. If you look at other countries that suffered through large financial crises like we did, you'll see that they tended to grow more slowly after the crisis. I think that's absolutely what's going on in the U.S. So that's a lower number than we're probably used to, the 2.3% there.
So what's changed? Later, Bullard elaborated.
If you look at recoveries in the U.S. since 1985, there's been three. They've all been relatively slow. So I think one thing to keep in mind is that the economy that we're looking at today is not the economy of 30 or 40 years ago. That was a different economy, and some of the dynamics were different. So I think that's one thing. The other thing is that if you look at countries following large financial crises, those countries tend to grow more slowly and tend to have a sort of a level effect on GDP. So GDP is growing, it falls, and then it just grows at the old rate, and so it doesn't spring back the way it would if the recession was driven by other factors. So those are the things that are coming from the macroeconomic literature that I like to think about. One of the main books on this is this Carmen Reinhardt and Ken Rogoff book on recoveries after financial crises.
Bullard believes GDP will reach 3.2% this year. For the McIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.